Yes.
It's prior to lunch, my lords. I was on the convenience compilation that Ms. Dwivedi had given, my lord, to show that the second gate with respect to NIOS DLED, where the question was that whether if a person is eligible to continue, would he or she be eligible to apply for fresh recruitment, has been settled by this honorable court. Three important orders where this exact thing in black and white has been decided. I wanted to show just one paragraph, not the entire judgment. So therefore, my lord, may kindly have that compilation. It reads as, my lord, in Mamta Pal and others versus State of Uttarakhand. In that, my lord, may kindly have page 260. We were at page 260, my lords. 260, the clarification order starts. 260. And the relevant at 261 is what we left prior to lunch, my lord.
Yes.
My lord, 261 para 1 is also important because the other side may bring in the Jaiveer Singh issue. Therefore, I want to just clarify and be fair on para 1. Para 1 at 261 says, my lord, the grievance sought to be raised on behalf of the review petitioners and some of the applicants before this court is that though they were in employment and covered by the recognition order 22/9/17, which is identical as me, they believe that the judgment and order in so-and-so would come in their way if they want to make their prospects by applying...
Better their prospects.
Better their prospects by applying either in other institution or for promotional avenues. This was the grievance. Then the para 3, my lord. However, to avoid any confusion, we again clarify that the 18 months diploma obtained by such persons who were in employment as on 10/8/17 and who have completed the diploma...
Why was there no reference to government employment in this?
I'm so grateful. Therefore, the subsequent order I will show where this confusion was also cleared by this honorable court. Therefore, I wanted to show. Yes. Kindly mark, my lord, since my lords are here. Para 3, please mark this word other institutions.
Yes,
this is very important.
That's what we are asking.
Yes. Then my lords would kindly come. This is December 24, the clarification. Now, let us see how this honorable court applies this order. That will start, my lord, at 267. 3 months later, March 25 for the same state of Uttarakhand. 267 it starts.
Yes.
Where similar implementation is sought in a transfer petition. And then, my lord, directly please come to the heart at 271. Direct answer. 271.
Yes, paragraph
22, my lord. Indisputably, the other institutions would also include the schools run by the state governments. And therefore, the direction, please see 24. We therefore direct the state government to consider the claim of the applicants in accordance with so-and-so and shall be done within so-and-so. And finally, they say, consider for appointment. Further, my lord, not just other institutions, but whether the regular course is equivalent to this course has also been considered by this honorable court, which starts at 272.
Regular course of
DLED 24. Whether is it equivalent to that or not has also been considered because it was a one-time scheme. That would start at 272 for the state of West Bengal.
That is Kaushik Das.
Kaushik Das, my lord. The relevant, my lord, is at 282. 282 para 38. Exactly the same issue. I'm not troubling para by para, but it is identical to what we have argued till now, my lord. Page 282, para 38. May I read now?
Yes.
It is clear that only such of the teachers who were in service as on 10th August 17, please mark this date,
yes,
but who had not acquired the minimum qualification till then, could have availed of the one-time scheme as sanctioned by NCT recognition order dated so-and-so. Having availed of the one-time scheme, such of the teachers, even though they only took the 18 months DLED program through the NIOS, they should be considered on a par with a 2-year DLED. If they completed their 18 months program through NIOS prior to 1st April 19, any other candidate who was not in service as on 10th August 17 cannot be considered to be at par with 2 years DLED. So, on the facts on this issue, my lord, that if I am eligible to continue, am I also eligible to apply for fresh recruitment? These are the findings rendered by this honorable court in multiple grounds. Now, just to complete this, my lord, this one missing link would come in that why this date of 10th August 17. For that, if I can just double my lords to have the first matter, which is 33. There's a convenience compilation and an MHRD letter there, which fixes the date as 10th August. So that this factual circle can be completed.
That you've already indicated that the 9th August 2017, that
indeed
amendment was made effective.
Indeed, my lord. I'm so grateful for that. Last but not the least, my lord, Now, this is on law, my lord. Now, on facts of each case, I just want 5 minutes total, not even per matter. What has happened is, my lord, that I will just give one as an example, which is state of Punjab. Just see 3 pages with me. The recruitment in almost all these states was prior to Devesh Sharma. I have applied in all the states. I am higher on merit in all the states. There has been an interim order in all the states, whether in the High Court or this Honorable Court, in my favor. And then Devesh Sharma comes. Because of Devesh Sharma, the ongoing recruitment is disrupted. I am taken out from the pool of consideration, and appointment letters to people lesser than me on merits are given. So therefore, my lord, if assuming my lords agree with us on this side, my lord, then the directions that may be required, because it is not just that we want the law to be declared, my lord, we also would expect, my lord, and humbly pray to this honorable court, that whatever chances, because of the interim order being in operation in our favor, we have missed, there, my lord, we need to be appointed. And in all fairness, I must also state, my lord, at least for Uttarakhand, there was an interim order in the High Court, which I will show from the chart, which said the ongoing recruitment is subject to outcome. Then here, when the SLP was pending, there was another recruitment where my lords were pleased to pass an interim order that please let us participate. And now the state government has made 169 posts reserved for the petitioners. So I am happy to make that concession, my lord, that if the previous recruitment may not be reopened, subject to I being accommodated here for this reason. Yes, I will. So what has, I am so grateful. For what happened in Uttarakhand, my lord, there was a recruitment notification of 2020. I applied there. Then there was a recruitment notification of 2024, which said that if you have applied in 2020, please, you don't need to reapply. In 2024, they were not considering me because of Devesh Sharma. Therefore, I went to the High Court saying that please give me an interim order, either allow me to participate or make the recruitment subject to outcome.
What happened in 2020?
Because the 2020 recruitment continued till 2024. The seats were carried forward, some some of the counselings were done, some counselings were pending.
You were not selected in any of the counselings.
I was not selected when I had to go for the counselling. Devesh Sharma came. Prior to me.
So prior to Devesh Sharma, you didn't get a chance of being selected.
Being selected, not on merits.
Under the 2020 advertisement,
Lord.
you were not a successful candidate there.
The 2020 advertisement was continuing till 24. It was not concluded.
So there were no counselling sessions at all?
There were no counselling.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it never reached that stage. We are sure about that. No selection process at all.
What was the process of selection? Was it a written test or?
No, there was no written test, my lord. I'm so grateful for that question. There was TET exam. There was my marks in the graduation.
Okay.
And my marks in post-graduation, if any. Just these 3.
Only
weightage. There is no examination, there is no competitive exam. Right. So therefore, the persons selected in 2020 and 24 are much lesser than me on merit.
2020, you said there was no selection at all.
My lord, it continued and concluded in 24.
That's what we are asking, whether anyone was selected. When was the first candidate selected?
24.
In 2020? All right. That's
Indeed,
what
24.
we want to know. That's right.
Yes. So therefore, 24, what happened, my lord, there was another recruitment, and it said that whoever has previously applied may not reapply. Therefore, most of us did not reapply. Then we went to the Honorable High Court saying that now they are not considering us because of Devesh Sharma, please include us. We challenge the rules, etc. And then the 25 recruitment comes before this Honorable Court when the SLP was pending here. And therefore,
once recruitment is over, or still seats are vacant in Uttarakhand?
I'm sorry, 24 or 25?
24.
24, some seats are vacant, my lord. Some seats are still vacant. In 25, 169 are reserved for us. Plus, I feel some more may be vacant. But 169, I'm sure that has been reserved for us by this Honorable Court are vacant. And one such example where the recruitment is still ongoing, because my lord would recall I troubled my lords time and again for that Punjab IA by mentioning again and again. The recruitment when I filed the IA 2 months back was ongoing here. The cutoff marks for person, and I had applied.
It commenced when?
It commenced on 2022. And it was going marks wise. The last mark that was called for in February of 26 was 57 and above. I am all 60, 65, 70, etc. So therefore, had this confusion not been there, I would have been appointed 3 years ago. And therefore, one such example I wanted to show, but I can show from the chart. The chart will be easier if my lord can just have the chart for the direction that we would pray for, my lord, assuming that the matter is decided in our favor. If my lord would just have the first page, and this would, yes. Or Justice Mehta had put this question yesterday, those dates of advertisements and when were the rules amended. For convenience, we have put that in the chart. If my lord would just have the first page. The date of the advertisement is mentioned, for example, in Punjab. The first column is Punjab, second Himachal, third Uttarakhand, and fourth Rajasthan. On the left side, particulars are mentioned, my lord. So, date of advertisement in Punjab is 6 March 2020, which is still ongoing. Similarly, my lord, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan. And then, my lord would see the merit position mentioned on the last row. The most important part is on the second page, my lord. I'm sorry, my lords, on the second page, the title of the state is not mentioned. The first is Punjab. First is Punjab, second is Himachal, third is Uttarakhand, and fourth is Rajasthan. Very important, my lord, the interim order column records that how my rights were protected throughout. Like in, for example, in Punjab, the appointments.
Subject to the outcome.
Indeed, my lord. And then, my lord, very, very important, please see Himachal. Himachal second order, which is 6/125, is passed by this honorable court. In High Court, the posts were reserved. But when I came to this honorable court, my lords felt that any appointment, I'm reading Himachal, which is second column, second order.
Yes.
Order dated 6/125. Any appointment made in the meantime on the said post of JBT teachers will remain subject to final outcome of these petitions. While issuing appointment letters, a note would be appended to the same mentioning the pendency of these petitions. So therefore, my lords protected me. Third, my lords, is Uttarakhand, where these 169, my lords actually, in all fairness, said we hereby grant the petitioners provisional permission to appear in the recruitment process. But what the state has done, they have reserved the number of posts for us. And last, my lord, in Rajasthan, where the writ is already pending, in the meanwhile, the candidature of petitioner shall not be rejected. And then, my lord, in all of these, we have applied. Date of rejection is also mentioned. I'm not reading it, my lord, because I understand I'm taking a lot of time, my lord. But the relief sought, that is very, very important. That is also a pointed question, my lords, put to me on yesterday, my lord. The relief sought includes the challenge to the rule that has disqualified me. That's very, very important in all these petitions. So therefore, the only prayer that I make as a last thing from my side, my lord, is that as if my lords would be convinced on merits from our arguments, my lord, then these directions individually, my lord, may be required to meet the ends of justice, is my humble submission. I'm so grateful for a patient hearing. Deeply grateful.
Yes, Ms. Dwivedi.
I'll try not to repeat anything my learned friend has said. He's done a stellar job and I hope has managed to convince my lords. But I just want to point out the history. Yesterday, my lords, a question fell from my Lord Justice Mehta why we did not get these qualifications when these qualifications were laid down on 23rd August 2010. Now, just to answer that query, my lords may just have this chronology of what has exactly happened in the state of Uttarakhand. Now, the Right to Education Act was enacted in 2009, and the first proviso provided that all these people were supposed to get their qualifications by 2014. 23(2) of the Right to Education Act says that the central government may grant relaxation. Now, my lords, on 23rd August 2010, would my lords just like to have the Right to Education Act? I'll just show section 23, the power of relaxation by the central government.
There is the power of relaxation.
Yes.
So you are acting in anticipation.
No, they have exercised their powers to relax till 2016 in the case of Uttarakhand, which is the reason why we did not need to get DLED qualification. I'll come to that. So my lords may just kindly have the RTE Act, which is annexed in that compilation.
Yes.
Which is at page 14. And my lords may straight away come to page 21, section 23.
Proviso.
No, I'm at 23(2).
Yes, that's right. Proviso to 23(2).
No, I'm in the main clause of 23(2). 23(2) says that where a state does not have adequate institutions offering courses or training in teacher education or teachers possessing minimum qualifications as laid down in 1 are not available in sufficient numbers, the central government may, if it deems necessary by notification, relax the minimum qualification required for appointment of a teacher. Now, as a matter of fact, in Uttarakhand, they did not have teachers and they did not have training institutions, which is why the NCT exercised.
Did the proviso also?
Yes. Provided that a teacher who at the commencement of this act does not possess minimum qualifications as laid down shall acquire such minimum qualification within a period of 5 years. This was to apply to teachers who were already appointed. Now, this is in 2010. Most of us have been appointed between 2012 to 2016. And the
then
extension.
also read the next clause.
Yes, provided that every teacher appointed or in position as on 31st March 2000.
Presumably you would be covered under this clause. Yes.
Some of us were covered under this clause, some of us are covered under the recognition order.
Yes, all right.
Who does not possess minimum qualification shall acquire such minimum qualification within a period of 4 years from the date of commencement. So this period came to an end on 31st March 2019, and that's an important date. I'll come to why it is an important date. Now, my lords, may kindly have that 23rd August 2010 notification. So under this section 23, NCT was authorized as the academic authority to lay down minimum qualifications. NCT exercises that power, which is at 172, 23rd August 2010. Page 172.
172 of
Your compilation.
My compilation. I'm only on my compilation.
how ye physically already.
Yes.
First, my lords, may kindly notice that this is power exercised under 23(1) of the RTE Act, which is power to lay down minimum qualification. The minimum qualification which was laid down for 1 to 5 was, we are concerned with 3 secondary, senior secondary or its equivalent with at least 50% marks and 2-year diploma in education, special education, and 1 secondary, senior secondary or its equivalent with at least 45% marks and 2-year diploma in elementary. So the regular qualification was a 2-year diploma course in elementary education in accordance with NCTE norms 2002.
So if it was senior secondary with 50%, then
So
the
50%
diploma
was-
need not have been specifically as per the NCT norms.
No, this is for special education. I am covered under 1. 50% was special education. My lords may have that. Senior secondary or its equivalent with at least 50% marks and 2-year diploma in education, special education. I am covered under 1. Senior secondary or its equivalent with at least 45% marks and 2-year DLED in accordance with NCT regulations 2002. So the regular qualification was 2-year DLED in accordance with NCT norms of 2002. Now, my lords may have,
Clause A.
yes.
A has 1 to A, B, C.
So
ने किया उन्होंने. The
the first part says elementary diploma in elementary education by whatever name known.
That's right.
And the second one says diploma in elementary education in accordance with the NCT recognition norms.
That's right.
Why this distinction? The first one doesn't require any recognition norms by the NCT to be applied. What is the reason for this
My
distinction?
lords, these were alternative qualifications. If my lords see the first
we
one,
understand.
was, yes.
Understand, but there is
That
hardly
also talks of 2-year diploma in
discernible
elementary education. This
difference.
also talks of 2-year diploma in elementary education.
My
But
lords,
it adds in accordance with NCT recognition norms and
Perhaps-
procedure regulations 2002.
my lords, perhaps it could be that prior to 2002,
That is
there were-
2002.
नहीं, इसमें 50%
इसमें 45% कर दिया है.
45% के then
Yes.
NCT recognized.
NCT.
That's right.
That's the difference.
But the regular qualification was
In some states, it was known as a BTC.
BTC.
Therefore, this, at
All
that
right.
time, NCT was not notified as an academic authority. Therefore, that terminology by whatever name.
Okay, okay. Understood.
But the regular qualification was a 2-year DLED. Now, my lords, may just turn over to the next page, which is training to be undergone, which was pointed out to my lords by Mr. Shankar Narayanan yesterday. So there was an exception to this 2-year